Hello, everybody. Welcome to New Earth Rising. We are so grateful you are here today. We've got so much fun for you guys. I am Michele Amburgey, and I am the Awakener, one of many, and you may be an Awakener too. Today, we're talking about orbs, and we've got here with us the Orb Sisters, Sharon and Tracee. And they have pictures for us. They got all kinds of really cool information. These things are freaking amazing. So really quickly, I am Michele Amburgey. I'm an intuitive, a psychic, an energy healer, sound healer, certified clinical hypnotherapist, life coach, spiritual coach, voice actor, author, and bookkeeper. We're also multidimensional these days, aren't we? And so I'm so grateful to be here. And I'm so grateful to be here with my shenanigator, Sharon. We have so much fun here on New Earth Rising. We love bringing you guys these wonderful shows, these wonderful topics. And I'm going to turn this over to Sharon because our guest, Tracee, is a very special person to Sharon. So Sharon, tell us about this.
Yes. Hey, Michele. Thank you for introducing us. So thank you everyone for being here and for watching. I'm so excited and happy because my sister, Tracee Gorman, is here, and we are the Orb Sisters. We have so much fun taking photos of, or not just orbs. We call it orbs, you know, because that's what everyone knows with paranormal photography or anomalies, but all kinds of strange anomalies that we get through our cameras. And you know, I've been taking orb photos for a long time, 30 years or so. And my sister's been taking them for what, about 8 years now? Something like that. Three. Oh, seems a lot longer.
Because seems like 8.
Yeah, because she started getting the most amazing things 3 years ago that I'm like, I never get anything like that. I was happy just to get a little orb in a photo, you know? And so she started showing me and teaching me how to get good orb photos, how to get good anomalies and what conditions and things like that, because she started studying on it, reading every book she could get her hands on. And I learned so much from her. So I get some amazing photos now too, because of Tracee's education in that realm. So anyway, I'll stop blabbing. Tracee, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, Tracee and I actually did a presentation. I was telling Michele, we did a presentation in Portland before the COVID thing broke out in a large group, and we did a PowerPoint presentation on a stage in a theater with the photos that we've taken. And the thing about photos also is that we learn from them, right?
Mm-hmm. Right, definitely.
Yeah. And I know that it seems like whenever we get certain types of photos, it leads us into learning more and more about reality
and ourselves.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you want to share a little bit about your journey and how you've come to be the master of orb photos that you are today?
Definitely not the master. But okay, sure, I can do that. So it may have been about 4 years ago, but I started taking photos because I got a very interesting photo when my sister Sharon invited me to a ghost retreat, and there were quite a few psychics there and a lot of really fun, interesting people. And I was a stay-at-home mom and, you know, was a little bit not into any of that stuff, but I just thought it would be fun. So I took a picture. We were sitting outside. I took a picture and I saw these. It was the only way I can describe it in the camera, not with the naked eye, but in the camera.
In your cell phone, right?
This was a cell phone. Yes, yeah. Exactly. These ribbons of light, they were moving in like a ribbon pattern, 2 of them moving in a ribbon pattern in front of me. And I thought at first somebody had put their hand in front of me and was waving their hand, but there was nobody around. And I was able to capture 2 shots of these two balls of light moving in a ribbon pattern, and thought it was kind of interesting. And the next day we went into the old inn there, and we went upstairs, and Sharon, being intuitive, said, take a picture down the stairs right here, take a picture right here. So I picked up my phone, this is my cell phone again, and we both saw in the cell phone display 2 balls of light bouncing up the stairs. And I was able to capture those 2 balls of light.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't put it on video, but I did capture still shots of them. And then we went downstairs, and she was taking a picture of me standing in the lobby area, and she saw those 2 balls of light in the camera, in the phone, in the cell phone display, come from the direction of the stairs and zoom behind my head. So she wasn't able to capture them because they were zooming so fast. So that intrigued me, and it took me a couple years before I really dove into the orb thing. I did see some orbs in our family Christmas photo, I think a couple years later, and then that intrigued me even more to take some photos. So I started reading up on it. One of the first books I read was the Orb Project book, and it's written by a physicist and a ex-priest, Michael Ledwith, and Klaus Heinemann is the physicist, and it was fascinating. So I read up on it just to see what I was getting into. You know, I didn't want to dive into something that was going to be weird and scary. Well, it is kind of weird, but scary. And then I just started experimenting with cameras and different environments, and found out that when it rains, the ionization is really high in the atmosphere, and we seem to get a lot more energy. So we don't just get orbs in the rain, we get quite a few other things. So that's how I got started in it. And I was taking pictures outside at night, in our front yard, backyard, almost every night for the first year or 2. So
Yeah.
that's how I got started.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? And you will be showing us those photos, those first photos, right? That you got of those orbs of light.
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see those.
I can
again.
show this. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I never thought about the rain and getting the ionization. That totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Excuse my cat.
No, we love seeing Mike.
He is a piece of work. You know what? I have a question for you really quick. What kind of camera or film equipment are you guys using? Are you using cell phones, or do you have special cameras? Like, what equipment are you guys using?
Well, from what I've discovered, cell phones are really good for video of orbs. You know, if you turn the light on your cell phone, you can get video, but not so great for still shots. The best camera that I found for us is the Nikon Coolpix S100, which is just a tiny little digital camera that you can purchase on eBay for like $40. Sometimes I've seen them for less than that. And it's the cheap digital cameras that tend to get the best orb photos because they have a really fast shutter speed, and the cell phones don't. So because orbs can move pretty fast. So and they also have a brighter flash than cell phones, because the orbs use the flash to manifest. They use the fluorescence from the flash to manifest.
Also,
Wow.
isn't it true, Tracee, that the newer digital cameras have filters on them to filter out orbs and things like that?
Right. A lot of the newer fancy cameras, expensive cameras, will have an infrared filter so that you don't capture that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Because
I
people
mean,
were,
if people would look at their old photos, you know,
Right.
that they took from, you know, with the little cheap digital cameras, they'll probably see orbs in their photos.
yeah, because it's something that we probably would have seen before that we thought was just you know, a spot on
Dust.
dust or
Yes,
or
yeah,
something, you know, something on the photo. Yeah,
right.
definitely. Yeah,
That's
cool.
interesting. That's really good information for people to have who
Mhm.
are interested in going out there and doing it.
Mhm.
Because I just got the big fancy iPhone 13 Pro or whatever this is. I finally broke down. And I was so excited because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go take some orb photos. I'm like, oh, but it's good to know
Mhm.
Well,
Try
that's
that
what I
taking
about
was
the
doing.
filters.
try
That's what I
taking
was doing.
video. Video
Mhm.
is really good.
Yeah, video,
Okay.
you'll definitely get them flying around. But I was buying expensive cameras, $200-300 cameras, which is expensive to me, and getting, you know, like these little tiny orbs or whatever. When Tracee started doing it, I'm like, I want to get back into getting all those amazing or I want to get more amazing photos like Tracee. And I was getting this little tiny orbs, something that, you know, wasn't all that fantastic. And then Tracee was learning that the cheapy cameras were getting the best photos, the best orbs, capturing the
Yeah.
best. And so, you know, now I think you have what, 5 or 6, and I have, I think 4 or 5 of the little
Yeah,
cheapy cameras now.
I've gone through, I think, a couple of them. You know, I used them up, overused them, and
Yeah.
then had to get rid of them. But yeah, I've got
Right.
quite a few.
Right. And then,
That's,
and you
yeah,
know, the
that's
good thing
cool.
is if you use them in the rain, you don't have to worry so much about
Exactly.
them getting wet. And we wipe down the lens and everything on a regular basis, but it's we get the best plasma and spirit mist photos
Mm,
in the rain.
Yes, yes, we do.
that makes sense. Can
Yeah.
we see some of these photos? I am
Sure.
so excited.
So I'll start with the ones that I took that got me started on this journey. They're right here. So let's see.
Mm,
Okay, so this was when we were sitting outside, and this was with my cell phone. So
Mhm.
you can capture these kinds of things. Now, I don't believe that these are orbs.
Right.
I just think it's spirit energy. I don't know, you know, what to call it, but that was the second photo, I believe, that I took. This was the first one. So can you see that
wow.
okay?
Yeah.
That's so gorgeous. I love that. And they
Yeah.
have there's like purple energy around them. And it's,
Yeah,
what's so amazing to me is how they were together the whole time.
they were together.
They were connected the whole time.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were. And I felt a really powerful feeling of love when I saw them. I mean, it's something you
Mm,
can't really describe, but
Right. Right.
that was that. And then let's see, this is what happened after they left. So that's what I saw after they left. If you can see that, can you see that?
Yes.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay,
Such
so
a difference.
this is the stairs that Sharon said, take a picture, go, you know, take a picture down here. So I took a picture, and just before I captured the shot, we saw those 2 balls of light coming up the stairs.
Bouncing up the
Bouncing, yeah,
stairs
bouncing.
as if they were walking up the stairs.
Wow.
We could see that in the viewfinder. And at the time, we didn't think about, you know, getting video at the time.
Right.
This was
Right,
quite a few years ago. Yeah.
right.
But that's so amazing to me.
Okay. Oops. Okay, so this is part of our PowerPoint presentation that we did at McMinimans in Portland.
Mhm.
And I thought I would just share this. These are just our theories of what orbs might be. Nobody really knows for sure what they are, but we can kind of guess. Souls of departed loved ones, angels, archangels, spirit guides, beings from other dimensions, extraterrestrials, collective consciousness, all of the above. Who knows?
Yeah. Hey, Michele, do you want to share that one little story that you told us earlier about a collective consciousness would be
Yes.
right in that area, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. I had a friend who had an old ranch that was kind of up in the mountains, and they had just bought it. They had, they've maybe been living there for about 6 months or so. And we were playing around, and we were taking some photos, and she captured one of the photos. It was a great big huge orb out on the patio. She at the time had a Mac, she had the fancy computer, and we started looking at it close, and we started realizing that there were pictures in this orb. And so we started taking it, like really focusing in each little section to try to see what it was. And the pictures that we saw in there, and they were kind of in a spiral form too, were pictures that were relating to the history of that ranch. There were Native Americans. There was a picturing of a flag that used to fly on the hill above the ranch. There was a figure of a woman in late 1800 garb, which this ranch was in its heyday at that time. There was a stagecoach used to come by. There were horses, there were trees, but you could see the trees. You could kind of still see the area that picture was taken. And so it had this history. And then it also had what looked like a picture of her dog that had recently passed away as well. And so it was like an anthology of the history of that ranch. So it was telling a story.
That is so cool. And because
That's amazing.
I know that really is. And Tracee and I have seen scenes in orbs
Yes.
that looks like a city or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, totally.
Communities.
Community. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the word I was
Mhm.
looking for. Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. So they're also, there's no time index in them.
Right. Right.
No time or space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
So then I just thought I'd share this.
Mhm.
As far as the human eye can see, we can only see in this little area right here. And there's so much more outside of what we can see with the naked eye. That's why the camera can pick up infrared
Mhm.
objects that we can't see. Some people can see orbs with the naked eye. I think it takes some practice to do that, but I haven't been able to do that yet. I think Sharon, you can see them sometimes, can't you?
Sometimes, yeah. Like if I'm
Yeah.
doing readings and things like that.
Yeah.
In that
I've had
frequency.
that too, but
Yeah.
they
Right.
move so fast. It's that same
Mhm.
sensation of like you just barely catch them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're gone too.
And it's like it has to be out of the corner of the eye. Something about the cones in our eyes when we're looking straight on isn't able to catch those frequencies.
Yeah. I read in the Orb Project book that they've clocked them at like 500 miles per hour,
Whoa.
some of them. So they do move really fast.
Yeah.
So these are just some examples. I think some of your orbs are in here too, Sharon.
I think that S is mine, isn't it?
No, that's mine. You keep
That's
thinking
yours?
it's yours.
I know. Maybe it's because it's an S.
Because it's an S.
I've gotten an S before.
I've gotten quite a few S's. I've never
Okay.
gotten a T. What's up with that?
Maybe it's an 8. Or
It
maybe
does
it's
look like an 8
It
or an
looks-
infinity.
And
Yeah.
it could be, yeah, I've gotten infinity symbols
Yeah.
before.
Plus
Mhm.
there's 2 faces in there. Do you see them?
Here,
Yes.
There's
yeah,
a guy with a beard and then somebody below him.
yep.
I always see faces.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot in every single one of these orbs.
Oh, totally. I know.
This one would be a little hard to find because it's so
It's
bright.
so
but,
bright. Yeah.
And then these are some more that have a little bit more pattern in them. In this one, can you see the face in this one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the one next to it looks like the Tin Man or an
Yeah,
extraterrestrial.
it does, huh?
Yeah.
And then I'm sorry, not the Tin Man. That the top left looks like the Tin Man. That's what I was thinking of.
Up here.
Scattered today. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
And the one at the top right looks almost like a underneath of a UFO.
Oh yeah.
You're right. It does.
It's got
Yeah,
interesting
totally.
pattern there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And I have noticed, just so you know, this one right here, I took with the Canon. I can tell which camera I used on each one of these orbs. This was the Canon, this was the Sony, and all of these were my Nikon. So this one too. So each camera picks them up differently. So I don't know why, but just the way the camera's been manufactured. But Sharon and I we like the Nikon the best. It seems to they seem to come out clear.
Yes, 100. Yeah.
wow, I'm gonna get me one of those. Wow.
And then
Yeah.
these are what I call exploding orbs. So they just, have a lot of energy going on in them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Look at that one on the top right, isn't that? I mean, that looks like a face coming through
Yep.
with all the light around it.
That
behind it.
way looks like a portal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think orbs are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Michelle.
I would say, yeah, I agree. Because when I see psychically, or even I've seen it with my eyes, those portals opening, it looks very much like that, to where it's like very frazzled and oftentimes kind of colored at the edges as that's opening up. And then what's in the center, you kind of are able to kind of see back in there.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks to me like a window opening, right? With all that light. I just see it as a window opening to the another side, beyond the veil. Maybe the night sky there is the veil, or the background there.
Right.
And then and then this window just opens up and there's so much light back there.
So amazing. And this one in the center looks like a spirit fish. Like a spirit piranha.
And the one in the top middle top mid looks like a parachute upside down.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I know, I love these.
These are fun.
Are all those yours?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So this was just something I took from the Orb Project book on the science part of orbs, because I have kind of a scientific mind. And I always, want to know why these are showing up and how are they showing up and that kind of thing. So he does explain about the flash, how the flash helps. And, some people will say, don't use your flash because it's not an orb if you use your flash, but I don't agree with that, because the orbs actually need the flash to manifest. They use the fluorescence from the flash. So this is just some information. And then the Doppler effect, you'll see a lot of the orbs have blue on one side. The orbs that are moving fast have blue on one side and orange on the other. And that tells you which direction it's moving. So it says the trailing edge is the orange tint and the blue is the leading area. So it's leading this way and going. So it would be going up. Right. If you think about this orb, it'd be going up.
And in our presentation, I'm sorry to interrupt, Tracee.
No, that's good.
In our presentation, we showed what a rocket looks like as well. And it has the leading edge is the blue and the trailing edge is the orange.
Yeah.
The energy around it.
Interesting. Wow.
And I like what excited electrons create extra ionization during rainfall and help the fluorescence process within the orbs. So there's right there of scientific reasons for why we get such amazing photos in the rain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, then on to plasma clouds. So,
Whoops.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So I didn't know what a plasma cloud was. Some people call them light waves. Some people
Spirit
call them
mist.
spirit mists, ectoplasm. And I just happened to come across something on the internet about them. Some lady had taken pictures of them. So I don't know if it was that night or maybe a couple nights later, I asked for one. And I don't have the one that I'm not showing the one that I got, but I asked for one and immediately it showed above my head. I got it. And it floored me because that proved to me that these were intelligent beings and communicating with me. And ever since then, that first plasma cloud that I got, I was getting them from then on. So it's almost like once you believe in them, then they start showing up to you, because I didn't even know what one was until I found out about it and then asked for one. So they're just different ones.
I also want to add to that story that I didn't know anything about plasma clouds either. And then Tracee was getting plasma clouds and showing me her pictures. And I'm like, I want plasma clouds. So
gotta let my cat in.
Okay. All right. So when my partner and I, Jay and I, went to Montana to visit his mother on Christmas, I was taking pictures and I said, you know what? I want some plasma clouds. Oh my gosh. I got plasma clouds galore. And I'd never, ever gotten plasma clouds because I didn't, like Tracee said, I had no idea what they were. And that's the first time I ever got a dragon plasma cloud. I got a dragon. Yeah. What looks like a dragon. Okay, continue.
Okay. So you can see them swirling around you in the camera. It's a really amazing experience. I mean, you can't even describe it unless you're in it. And these are some more, and you can see the colors. Some of the colors in here are just crazy.
What's really amazing too is that when Tracee and I do this and we get these plasma clouds, it lifts our frequency so much, and we're vibrating so high it's even hard to sleep afterwards. And I think it was Tracee that said, if everyone did this, if everyone went out and took pictures or whatever it is, communicated with plasma because it's light, nobody would be sick in the world.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah. We wouldn't have any mental illness or any physical illness whatsoever.
It's definitely very healing.
Yes.
It's amazing the rainbow colors that are in there and the multiple levels and layers in there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely fascinating. I've been into orbs for a really long time. I've taken some, but not really that much photographing them. But, looking at them, studying them, watching them, on YouTube and stuff like that. And you ladies have some exceptionally awesome pictures here.
Oh, thank you. And then I did pull a couple plasma clouds here, just right here. Here's another one that I wanted to show that has a lot of color in it.
And what camera is that? Because the Nikon doesn't get those colors.
That's the Sony.
That's the Sony. Okay.
So I do use my Sony a lot for plasmas because it picks up the colors a lot better. I mean, you know that's not fog.
Right.
Right.
Fog doesn't have those kind of colors in it. And then this one here too.
Ooh. And that's with the Sony?
Yep.
Wow.
You know what's a lot of fun is to set up your cell phone and videotape yourself with plasma swirling around you.
Oh,
Yes.
that's cool.
That is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was at a Native American drumming circle many, many years ago. And there were people that were not doing that on purpose, but accidentally catching
Mm-hmm.
that as we were drumming.
Oh,
and it was
really?
amazing.
Oh, wow.
I bet. Yeah, I bet.
So now these are energies that we usually get in the rain, and we just came up with the term veils because they kind of look like veils, and they're always very colorful and really fun to catch.
Yeah, they're amazing. They always seem to have a bright light close to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, there's a light here, there's a light here, there's a light up here. I don't know about this one, but
well, it looks like that there's a couple of lights because it looks like one part maybe,
right here, maybe.
disconnected from the other part. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I think there's some kind of a plasma ship or something. Oh no, what was it we were talking about? Or someone on on our Facebook group mentioned, or one of those Facebook groups, that they thought that maybe they were the covering of a portal coming off.
Oh, right, right.
Oh, that's
I mean,
interesting.
you know, we don't know.
We don't know.
It's a good theory.
Yeah, lots of theories.
You know, there's a woman who is on YouTube, and she looks at all of the cameras in different cities. You know,
Yeah, I
everything is
love
under
her.
surveillance. And she catches and this stuff and watches it move and grow and shift and change. And, you know, it's a living structure.
I've seen those. Those are amazing. And they look like this. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
And they're moving.
Her name is Gina something.
Yep, Gina. Yeah. Oh my
Gina.
gosh.
Gina something. I'll look her up. Yeah, look at those.
So these are just a few more here.
Absolutely amazing.
And then sometimes we'll get unusual
What
things.
is that?
And
good question.
some call them elementals. The Orb Project book, I've seen an explanation of this as an orb that's spinning at such a fast rate that you're catching all the tentacles of it spinning, which could be, that's kind of the scientific explanation. It could be that, but some of them don't look like that. So I don't know. I know Sharon's gotten a lot of these.
Wow.
I just call them anomalies. And you can see this is, I mean, I don't know how big it is because, you know, you don't know how close it is to the camera, but
yeah,
it's above the house here. And it looks like it's fairly large.
Yeah.
It looks like back in the 60s, that trucking, trucking, keep on trucking.
Yeah.
What?
The logo, the keep on trucking logo.
With the guy with the foot way out, like I'm trucking.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, now I get it. Yeah.
Like whatever this is on a mission.
Right. Yeah, totally.
So cool looking.
Her name is Gina Marie Colvin.
Gina Marie Colvin. Yeah.
G-I-N-A.
She's got some amazing, and she's been kicked off a couple of times too, where she's catching stuff that's going on at I think there was something in Russia at the Kremlin.
I saw that.
Something around the White House, and they yanked her off of there.
Oh, I didn't see that, but I did see some tower building in Russia where there was some kind of beings climbing up the building.
I saw that. Yeah.
That was crazy, creepy.
She has caught some crazy stuff. And I was watching one a while ago where it was like these plasmas were creating around the buildings, and then it looked like they were going into the buildings.
Oh,
like they were slowly like going in through a window, and then they disappear.
Wow. Well, hopefully that's all good stuff.
Okay, so we were talking about portals.
Yes.
And this, I just have one photo of a portal, but here, but I'm thinking that's probably a portal. And this is taken in the snow. so this is the first time I ever took photos in the snow, and got some pretty incredible shots there.
Yeah,
And I
that's
know
like wormhole.
that's like
type.
wormhole portal.
Yeah.
I know Sharon, she's gotten some of these too.
Wow.
Yeah, the first time I got my portal, I was so excited. I actually blew it up and I have it hung up in my bedroom. So it was just so gorgeous, so beautiful,
Mhm.
these things, and they're just so amazing. That to think
Yeah.
that, I mean, we have everything in our backyard. I mean, right in our own space. There is no time. We've
In our
learned,
house even.
yes, there is no time and space. Everything is, we've learned so much from our photos.
Mhm.
Mm.
And then I just added this for anybody who, wants to start taking pictures of orbs. And I've discovered you have to have an open mind and an open heart, and the right camera helps. And then also the environment and the surroundings. You want to have, good energy. So that my sister and I, you know what a SETI is, right, Michelle?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Okay, so the Ascetti Ranch, my sister and I have been there quite a few times, and the energy there is just amazing. We've gotten some really amazing photos at
Oh
Ascetti
man, I can
Ranch.
only imagine. And it's interesting too, these 6-sided and even 5-sided
Yeah.
forms that show up too. It's a very natural geometrical form.
Mhm.
And I love
Those
this
are
one.
rare. I've only gotten maybe 2 of those
Mhm.
in all the years that I've been capturing orbs. Have you gotten any, Sharon?
I don't know.
Okay.
Not off the top of my head. I don't know if I've gotten any that are, I can't say.
And this
I,
one's actually
Pretty rare.
7-sided. 1, 2.
I
It
know
is.
it's 7-sided.
Wow.
I thought it was octagon, but it's 7-sided. Yeah,
Mhm.
It's
that's crazy.
septagon. Is that septagon? Is 7?
Septagon.
Wow.
So then I just pulled this for people who, want to start taking photos. And I listed our cameras that we use. The Nikon Coolpix S100 is our favorite. And then keep the flash on. I turn the image mode down just because you don't really need um, very high image mode on there. And so your photos aren't so big as far as, um, size wise. So you can keep it on 8 image mode. And the orbs are easier to see at night. So that's where you might want to start. And then you talk to them, ask them to show up.
Definitely.
And at first, I may have gotten 1 or 2 orbs in my photos in the beginning. And then once you start taking more and more, they start showing up more, which is pretty exciting. And then you don't want to take pictures in a dusty area or fog, or you don't want to point it directly into the sun, because then you'll get lens flare, which can cause orb-like images, though those can be really pretty, and some of them may be paranormal, but you just don't know. And then, as we said, taking pictures in the rain or snow is our favorite time to take photos.
Also, I don't know if you mentioned that here. I don't think you did. You have to take a lot of photos.
You have to take
Don't
a
just
lot.
take 2 or 3 photos and expect to get, a couple of orbs in them.
Exactly.
We take, on a good night, we'll take maybe 200 or 300 photos.
Yeah.
Mhm. I've taken 800 photos in one night before.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
That's probably the most.
Yeah, that's
But
a lot.
if the conditions are really good, I cannot stop.
It is hard to stop, and you feel that pull too when
Mhm.
when when conditions are good. You feel the pull.
You do.
They're like,
Yeah.
we're gonna come out and play.
Right. Okay, then this was my last one,
Yes,
but
I
then I'll
wanted to
show
show you that.
yours. This was my
Whoa.
Jesus orb that Sharon wanted me to share.
That is beautiful.
Isn't
Oh,
that
thank
gorgeous?
you.
And what was the circumstances when you got that?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I should pay more attention to that. I really don't know. It was just another night of orb shooting.
Do you know what camera you were using?
That's from my Nikon.
Because you can
DS100,
see it's a portal, because you can see in the center there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's very small. If you want to see the full picture, I can show you the full picture. It's actually very small.
And those are the best ones, because those are the ones that have the most energy. They're compact. They're the ones that I figured out. For what I understand is they are on the inner rings of our universe, the multiverse. You know what I mean?
Right. So this is, there it is right there. So this is the full picture. And this one is really pretty too.
Yeah.
But that's the full picture.
Wow.
So, okay, well, let's get to your stuff, Sharon.
I just brought up, since I wanted you to bring up Jesus, thank you for doing that. And I just wanted to bring up some of my angel photos and then my Mary photos, Mother Mary.
Okay.
Yeah, this one and the next one I got at when we were at, it was after we left ECETI and we were in Hood River at the hotel.
Right.
And it was raining. We just stood on the balcony and was taking pictures.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was fun.
It was. And we got some amazing photos too.
We did.
That is absolutely stunning.
Isn't that gorgeous?
This next one.
And that one too, yeah. They were having a lot of fun dancing on the water there, the Columbia River.
So bright.
So amazing. Wow.
That was in my backyard.
And I love how it's got that turquoise blue one there too.
Yeah.
You know, you got all white and then you've got that beautiful turquoise right there. And it looks like there's something circling it behind too.
I know, right?
Yeah, it does. You're right.
Wow.
So it could, it's like a portal or something, that kind of thing where the light comes out of. I feel like the light comes out of that. I wonder if that's Michael.
I love this blue beam behind it.
Yeah, that made me think of Michael just now.
Yeah, me too. Totally.
The cat?
Michael the angel, you've heard of him, right?
The angel cat?
The angel cat, yeah. And I just love that. I love that heart.
So bright.
Yeah. And this one I got at Tracee's place in Seattle area. And that, as soon as I got it, I thought Mother Mary. That was
absolutely.
That was what I was feeling. Yeah.
Wow.
And that feels like an angel. Going back to Mother Mary, when Tracee and I are together, our mother shows up all the time.
Oh, that's so
from
cool.
spirit. And when she shows up to me, I get the feeling of Mother Mary. Not that she was a saint when she was here or anything like that, but I mean, she was our mom and she had her stuff, of course, we all do. But I feel that energy from her, like mom and Mother Mary, if that makes it, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I always feel
totally,
that similar kind of energy.
Maternal energy.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that one is in our Orb Sisters Oracle cards. We have Oracle cards for those of you that are watching. And at the end, I'll pull a card.
And put a link somewhere in this so people can go find them too.
We had a lot of fun creating these cards.
So fun. Yeah. Wow, look at that.
I love the colors in that one.
Right.
Mm,
That looks like an
So
angel to
pretty.
me.
yeah, the violet flame.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that one was at ECETI, and they
Mm,
get a lot of visitations from Mary and Kuan Yin that, is there a lot. And I just felt this Mary energy with that one.
Mm-hmm. The blue is just, and I think
Yeah.
the camera probably doesn't even pick up the colors that it's showing because it
Mhm.
can only pick up a certain amount of colors.
Right.
There's a lot of
Mm.
colors we cannot see.
Right.
oh, that's so pretty.
And that felt like a Mary energy too.
Mm, mm.
Okay.
And that's it. Tracee, will you please show your vortexes?
Okay.
Yeah. I
Um,
think that would be fun to see the vortexes. That was the cards. Wasn't me.
well, these are some of my first ones that I got and went, what the heck?
Mhm. Yeah.
So they just showed up out of nowhere. And at first I thought it was water on the lens. And so I would wipe the lens and take another picture, wipe the lens, take another, and they would still show up. So this you can see, there's a tree right here, and the vortex is so strong, the tree
Yeah.
disappears
Yeah.
in this area.
And that happens in the rain. Have you ever had those in the that's in the daytime right there.
That's in the daytime.
Yeah. When it wasn't raining. Do we get any vortexes?
I think I have.
You have?
Yeah. Mhm.
That is just
Small
breathtakingly
bit.
beautiful.
Isn't that awesome?
And there's so much nature too. I know that has a difference. I've tried taking
Mhm.
photos in very city type areas and in buildings, connection like that. But it's out in nature is when I find I get the best
Yeah.
Yes.
photos.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
totally.
agree with that. Mhm. So these are just some vortexes within plasma
Mm-hmm.
here.
Isn't that crazy? I love those.
Wow.
Those are my favorite. I think plasmas are my favorite photos to get,
Mm,
especially when they have all that energy going on. Look at that.
mm.
Look at isn't that. I mean, it's just mesmerizing and out of this world to me.
Mhm.
Look at that.
Totally.
I mean, that looks like a tornado.
Yeah, there's so much energy going on when we're getting these photos like this. I mean, your energy your frequency, you can't help but feel good.
Mhm.
Mm.
Some people would get freaked out about it, but I've never really have.
I think it
Mhm.
just takes a little bit of practice and
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I know.
Oh my
Look at
God.
that. And those amazing. It's just that's a portal. Nobody can
Mhm.
tell me that's not some kind of a portal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cannot tell me that.
And what's fascinating too is so much of the surrounding area and even part of the plasma, you can see all of the little orbs in there. It's like they're all supporting it. They're all a part of
Yes.
it.
Mhm.
Yes, totally. Yep. I've seen in plasma clouds and like this, I've seen lots of faces within them.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That are part of that. But
Right. Yeah. I think that's it.
what about your seahorse?
Oh, okay.
I have a mantid. Tracee has a seahorse.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, look how sweet.
That was taken in the snow.
Isn't that awesome?
That is so sweet.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you. And that's just a tiny, tiny,
Wow.
tiny fraction.
Tiny fraction.
The things we get,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. Now, let me ask you, when you guys are photographing, I know you've said that you've asked for them to be there. So when you're taking the photos, because you're doing it digitally, you can see what you're getting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever then sit when you realize you're having a lot of activity and just begin to communicate and get communication from this presence, or
I
like, is that,
don't do that, but it's not a bad idea to do that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
because there's,
sometimes I get so caught up. I'm a visual person. I'm an artist, so I get caught up in the visual part of the photos and don't do that kind of meditating on the photos and trying to get a message from the photos, which I need to do more often. So
yeah,
yeah, it's a good question.
yeah, or being like who is this? What is this? Is there,
Yes.
you know, are we trying to make connection? They're showing up,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, are we trying to make connection?
What I
I
do
think
is,
Sharon does that a little more than I
Mhm.
do, don't you?
yeah, what I do is I talk to them and I sing. I sing a lot when I'm taking photos. I'll, if and I'll sing and dance because I feel so energized because I can't just stand still. And so I'm communicating in that way, and it's more about joy than words, if that makes any sense. So the
Yeah.
joy that I feel when I'm doing it, I can feel that communication from them in joy. So there's no feeling of this is who I am or this is what I'm trying to tell, any messages or
Right.
anything. It's just pure joy.
Yeah.
It's raising your frequency.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's that
Yeah.
joy that they're, and I feel that they're joyful doing this with us. I totally feel that they
Oh, big time.
are
Yeah.
very joyful that with the fact that we are paying attention and we are communicating in this way because they want us to communicate. They want it. They love teaching what what we're learning from our photos and that kind of thing, and being in that connection with them and using that tool, being able to see through the veil with that tool, because that camera helps us see through the veil.
Right.
Yeah. And so I feel that joy really strong, and that's all I care about when I'm doing it.
And that's
Wow.
why they show up around animals and children a lot too, because they're so joyful.
And
Mm.
parties and gatherings and things like that,
Mhm.
like the drumming circle you were talking about, Michelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what they want us to feel, and that's what they're just like us. They want to feel good too.
That's
And
amazing.
I think more than anything, they want us to know that they are here and they are with us and they exist, whether it's loved ones or and just spirit on the other side, just peeps on the other side. They just want us to know that we're not alone and they do exist,
Hmm.
and have that connection and that communication.
And that they can help us too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I know, Tracee, you shared with me that I think it was the first school shooting or something, was it the Columbine or something, where you were really upset and you went outside and asked them, go ahead, do you mind sharing that story?
It was the Parkland
Okay.
school shooting, yeah, in Florida, and I was just really upset over it. And I asked, "Is there hope for humanity?" And just feeling, down. And I got the most amazing pictures I'd ever received that night. So in my mind, that was a yes, there's hope.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they will give you, if you ask them, I've had questions answered in my photos, and I don't mean like, you know, am I going to get that job next week or something, but
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Can you show me this in the photos? I've asked Prince to show up. He showed up. I asked John Lennon to show up. I was playing John Lennon's song, Imagine, and he shows up in my photos. Okay.
In an
Prince-
orb.
In an orb.
In
Thank
an
you.
orb,
In
mhm.
an orb. Yeah. Sorry. So things like that. And because, you know, when you're out there doing that, all the stuff that we care so much about that we think is really important isn't important when we're out doing that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What's important is that communication, that connection.
Yeah. Well, we live in such a limited space,
Yeah.
typically
Mhm.
as humans. You know, we have this limited matrix that we're in
Right.
that for most people doesn't even allow for this even possibility of
Mhm.
these orbs and spirits and all that kind of stuff. And that really allows us a visual guide to be able to
Yes.
really begin to realize there's more
Yeah.
than what we're doing. And it's time to expand out into it.
Totally.
That's
We've
true.
also got, yeah, we've also gotten photos of grid lines, like
Mm.
that looks like the
Right.
Matrix,
Mhm.
and where you can see them opening up and see the light behind it.
Yeah, and Sharon will attest to this. I was kind of an open-minded skeptic on all this stuff. You know, she would say, "Ah, I'm getting orbs, I'm getting orbs," and I'd be like, "Oh, that's nice." And you know, not really get into it that much, but I was kind of skeptical about it all and a bit left-brained. And that's why I started with the science part of it first and then went from there. So if I can believe it, I mean anybody can believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's I think you have to experience it, have your own experience with it too.
You do. You have to have your own experience. Yep.
Yep.
Because we
And-
have a Facebook, sorry, go ahead, Michelle.
I was going to say, and I'm so grateful that you guys talked about the different kind of equipment and that kind of stuff, because that, you know, that can make a big difference, because we have these phones and these fancy things that we have with us all the time, you know,
Right.
and people use their cameras on their phones all the time. And I think it's so important that you guys made that differentiation and
Mhm.
and why it's important to use particular equipment, because it could get really disappointing if you've got this, you know, like I'm thinking I got my fancy ass phone, right? It's like I can't get any orbs.
Yeah.
But to really make that clear that
Mhm.
there is something about those filters and the high tech kind of filming that we have now that doesn't catch these natural anomalies.
Right. Yeah. Makes a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, cell phones can get orbs in movement
Motion.
where you see a streak. And that was my problem when I first started taking orbs with my cell phone, was I just kept getting streaks. I'm like, how come everyone's, you know, the people that groups I was taking orbs with at the retreat place where we went to the ghost retreat. I used to go to a lot of retreats there, and people with cameras were getting orbs, and I didn't make the distinction like you were talking about, that, oh, it's because they have a camera and they're not using a cell phone, until Tracee started getting hers, and then that I was oh, it clicked. Oh, now I get it. Yeah. But if
Mhm.
you got, if for you special peeps watching, if you have any old digital cameras and you want to do this, get it out and see what you get.
Yep.
Yeah. And the fun part is analyzing it afterwards.
Right. Right. Definitely.
And you guys have a group
We do.
that you have, it's a Facebook group, correct?
It is. It's called the Orb Sisters.
Mhm.
And can anybody come play?
Yes.
Mhm.
Anybody.
That's awesome. If
Yes.
anybody's interested in learning more and sharing with Sharon and Tracee too, get on over Facebook. It's Orb Sisters.
Mhm.
And I was taking a look at it, and you guys have some really interesting stuff on there. And
Thank you.
this is exciting. And, you know, this is stepping out of the mundane and really allowing us to open our hearts and minds and to begin to touch into those spaces that are beyond what we've been allowed to think and know. And we're finally able to expand out into this. And as we do that, that's part of the awakening. That's part of this whole shift that we're going through, is opening up into realizing that there's all kinds of stuff in the unseen world. Right. And it's safe. It's joyful.
Yeah, totally. Totally. And we do encourage people to share their own photos on our group as well.
We also have a YouTube channel. The Orb Sisters.
The Orb Sisters, yes, we do. Yeah.
And then I have a website.
Yes, and it explains a lot about cameras, and you get lots of information on there, and some more photos.
Some information, yeah. It's called Orb Discoveries.
Orb Discoveries?
Orbdiscoveries.com.
Okay, let's make sure we get that in the body here too.
Yeah.
We do that because that's so, when someone starts seeing this and the beautiful photos that you guys have presented here, it's anybody who sees it is gonna want to go look a little bit deeper into it. And so Tracee, you've done so much research into this. Thank you.
Oh,
because now people can go and look, especially the skeptics like you, right? They were kind of like, there is scientific data backing all this up.
Yeah.
And so go visit Tracee's website, you guys, those of you that are really interested in this. It's the next step. It's the next frontier, right?
Yes.
Moving into this.
It is definitely. And Tracee, which one, what books or study materials would you suggest for people if they want to learn more about the communication and the connection with orb photos, and and helping us evolve as a human?
Well, the Orb Project book, I would say, is one of the first ones you want to read, though it is mostly scientific there, though he does talk about connections and how some of the orbs appeared after requesting them and that sort of thing.
Right.
But I would say that one, I mean, there's a lot of different orb books out there. I don't really have a specific one that I would recommend about connecting. I think because everybody has their own specific journey on it. So, I mean, Nancy Myers, she has
our friend Nancy,
some good books.
She started getting orb photos after her son died. Yeah, and he led her on that journey. Yeah, she's written a couple books.
She has 2 books, so yeah, those are very good. But it's her personal journey, and they're pretty fascinating. Both books that she's written are very fascinating.
Yeah.
So I have a very important question. Do we look like orbs to them from their side?
Good question, right?
I'll ask them.
Like,
next time I'm out there taking pictures, I'll ask that question.
I love that question.
It goes both ways.
You would think.
Do we look like angels too?
I know, right?
Maybe so.
Yeah. So Michele, when you get out there and take photos, ask.
I'm going to.
Right?
I'm going to. What do I look like to you?
Yeah.
How do I appear to you? Because
I've heard
another layer of learning.
Right. I've heard that, the higher beings, what I understand too, is what they see is our light.
Yeah.
They don't see our physical appearance. They see our light.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And how much of our light shines. And if we have stuff covering up our light, then they don't see us very well. So the more light we have and the more light we shine, the easier it is for the higher planes to see us, is my understanding.
Yep.
And I really believe you have to remove all fear. Because if you're out there and you're afraid, I mean, sometimes I'm out at 3:00 in the morning. If it's pouring down rain, and I'll jump out of bed and go out in my yard at 3 a.m. in the pitch dark, and if you're afraid, then you're not going to get much. So yeah, you just have to remove all fear.
The only things I'd be afraid of are spiders.
Spiders.
The only thing that freaks me out are the critters we have around here. We've got skunks and raccoons roaming around, and
Yeah.
and the skunks don't see very well, so I don't want I don't want to, you know, be all of a sudden see a skunk on my foot, because they're pretty friendly. But
You
that
see
would
the
freak me
skunk
out.
spray, a beautiful orbs.
I know, right? There we go. Luckily, don't spray us, but yeah, that the critters I think would freak me out the most. That's the only thing that kind of freaks me out. Although I have been spooked when I'm taking photos of plasma clouds. I don't ask for plasma clouds to show up, or they just start showing up. And then there's one right in front of you. You take a photo and it's like right there in front of you. You see it in the screen.
Ooh,
And it's right there.
interesting.
And it's like, oh, okay, wow, all right.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit shocking when they show up right in front of your face.
Right in front of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they're all around you.
They're all around you.
Ooh.
You know, another thing that that's interesting is when I was taking video of myself, because I wanted to see, you know, I had my cell phone. I think I was using a selfie stick or something. It was just saying, hey, okay, plasma, I want to see the plasma. And it looked like some plasma was coming out of my head at one point.
Well, you know, it kind of stands to reason, because we're electromagnetic beings.
Yeah.
And we're energy beings, that we may have plasma fields ourselves. Maybe
Sure.
that's what our aura is.
Could be.
You know, and we could be, whoa, I just had a thought. We could be actually interacting with them. Our plasma could be interacting with any plasma that's coming to join us. I know, Michele.
And you
right?
just like pulled it right out of my head.
Yeah,
I love when
I've
you
thought
do
about
that.
that, Michele, that maybe I'm taking a picture of my aura. You know, sometimes I'll be taking it above my head or something, and I'll think, is that my aura? Or
Yeah.
what? You know, so who knows?
And we know there's layers and layers and layers. And
Mhm.
you know, maybe what we're seeing, like, especially when you're in person doing this, maybe you are taking partially, that's part of your aura interacting with other dimensions too.
Could
You
be.
know, yeah, definitely. That's
Yeah.
a good point. I know, I've got goosebumps. We've got some amazing photos of Bisetti that Tracee didn't show, but we have amazing plasma being, large, huge beings. Well, I'm taking pictures of Tracee and some other people that are there, and it was raining, and we were so lucky. If you haven't been to Bisetti, people, there, it's an amazing ranch where you can look at the sky and see ships and stuff, and the base of Mount Adams. And
It's ECETI.
yes,
Yeah, so you know, yeah.
It's
yes,
what is it? It's for extraterrestrial
enlightened
Contact with,
extraterrestrial intelligence.
intelligence.
there you go. Thank you.
Yeah. And there's these in the photos where I'm taking pictures of Tracee and a couple of people, there's plasma around them and you can't even see them because there's so much plasma around them with these. There's this one with this big winged being, and it doesn't, it is standing there with these, it looks like it's just standing there. So, well, it is protecting, surrounding Tracee, and I remember I forgot his name, James. Yeah. Tim, sorry. Not your husband Tim, but another Tim that was there.
Yeah.
But they're just, we were hanging out taking pictures. And this, do you remember that photo?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was stunning.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's I don't know what that, you know, what we were talking about can help crack this case about what orbs are.
Crack the code.
Crack the code. What
Crack the
orbs and plasmas are. They come from us.
We are the plasma. And
Oh,
it would kind of make sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Now we were discussing our are oracle cards. So
Oh, yes.
you can get them on Etsy. You can get them on Etsy, and you were
Etsy.
going to pull a card. So yeah, the Orb
Yes.
Sisters on Etsy.
And they come with a little pouch, and they're what, I
So
think
cute.
$18 or something.
They might be 20. I think
Oh,
they're 20.
includes shipping though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so I'll pull a card for us, for everyone watching and all of us. All right. Chaos.
There's
Ooh,
a lot of that
yeah.
right now
I know, isn't
in
it?
the world.
And by the way, I will say that Tracee and I worked really hard on these cards,
Mm.
and we the photos are both of ours. And I'm proud to say that I brought the messages through. And I just wrote a bunch of messages that came through, and then we matched up the pictures that we felt went with the message.
Wow.
And it just, yeah. So chaos. If you feel your life is in chaos, take heart in knowing that chaos is needed for true healing. Chaos allows for a great shift in thought patterns and comfort zones. It's time to let go and let God.
That's
This
one
is-
for the individual all the way out to the collective.
All the way. That's your photo, right, Tracee?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
These are wonderful cards too. I'm going to go get mine.
Yeah, these were channeled. These were channeled for sure. And they knew. We had hoped to do 44, but we got it down to 33. So there's 33 cards.
Well, you can do like baseball cards do. Every year they put out some extras to add to your collection.
Oh. Because we were going to do another deck.
Or that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You could put
It was
out.
hard to pick. It was hard to choose what photos.
It was.
Now that I've seen what you guys have, I can understand. I mean, that's crazy. Because I've seen a lot of this stuff, and I've not seen some of what you gals have
No.
shown here today. This is really
Thank you.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And
It's
thank
so,
you for sharing.
Tracee's she's
Yes.
the one who learned how to do it right.
I don't know if there's a right or wrong, but
Well,
there's-
to get amazing photos, because I just
Yeah.
followed in her footsteps, and to say, you know, and but yeah, it's fun. We highly recommend it.
yeah.
Get away from the computer, get away from our phone, get away from TV, get away
Get out
from
in the rain. I think it's supposed to rain tonight. You know where I'll be.
woo, yeah, here too. Here too. Get away from the chaos that's going on in the world, you know, just go outside
Yeah.
and take photos. All you need to do is go outside in your own place. Of course, the less light, the better.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
you can actually get good photos inside too in your house.
yeah.
Yeah.
And video too.
You can get orbs moving around your house if
Mhm.
you want. Yeah.
I had a house that I lived in for quite some time, and I had a weekly meditation for not 9 years in that house, 7 years in that house, and just a lot of spiritual stuff happening. And there were orbs everywhere. And I would
Wow.
take pictures, and there'd just be clustered everywhere.
Mhm.
But it was interesting because at that time, there was some weird stuff going on in the house.
Oh, yeah.
too.
Oh,
And I
Yeah.
started freaking myself out, right? Like we get
Mhm.
scared, and then they left. And so I was like, okay, phew. But like you guys were saying, that you need to be really open-hearted and no fear.
Mhm.
And so they may have realized that I had that fear around that and left.
Yeah.
And I had
Right.
like sacred geometrical forms set up, and I had all kinds of crazy stuff, and it was really cool.
Wow. That's
You
cool.
guys have
Well,
really excited me to go back and start doing some of this again too. So thank you.
nice.
Yay. You're welcome.
Thanks, Tracee. Thanks for
Hey,
being
Thank
here.
you for having me. That was fun.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll have to do it again because we have tons and tons of photos to
I'd
share.
love to see
Mhm.
more.
And oh, bless you.
Excuse
And
me.
Thank you everyone for being here and watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this. And of course, do all the YouTube stuff. If you haven't already subscribed, hit the button and please comment
on it.
Yeah, and please let us know your thoughts and how you enjoyed the video today. And I will have all of Tracee's information, Orb Sisters information down in the description.
Wonderful. And also when you go over to the Facebook group, Orb Sisters, let the girls know that you saw this and that's what brought you over there, because it's always good to have the feedback, to know that when we're sharing this stuff in these different venues, you know, what is attracting you to get involved and to do more of this. We always like to know those things. So
yes, and if you mention that, you'll get a discount off the next video we have.
No way.
Oh, I'm terrible. Okay.
You're so cute.
You get to watch it for free. Get all this great information. I know.
New Earth Rising, we love you. We do. This is going to be on New Earth Rising. It's going to be on Sharon's YouTube. It's going to be on my YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Tracee's YouTube.
Orb Sisters YouTube.
Orb Sisters YouTube. And let's just spread these orbs everywhere.
That's right. Spread the love. Spread the love, everyone.
Let the love begin in earnest.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Yes.